Bigfoot cooking.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Bigfoot Cooking. Today's menu, Squatch Steak and Mac and Cheese, in that order. For today's meal, we're gonna take some ribeyes, slice them up, have them swimming in some cheese and some pasta, and make something that is delicious. Now, for today, we're gonna start out with the marinade for the meat, because you've got to actually, once you get it mixed and cut and dropped in, you want to let that stuff soak in so the flavor gets a little more into the meat. That way you taste it with every bite. So right now what we've got is the marinade. That's going to consist of 2 ribeyes. I mean, you can use other cuts of meat if you like, but they had a sale. So 2 ribeyes. We're going to need 1/4 cup of Worcestershire, a heavy squirt of mustard. Like I say, it's kind of a preference thing. About 1/2 cup of water. Sometimes you have to adjust because for some reason it's thicker sometimes than others. And a tablespoon of seasoning. Now, hold on. Italian spaghetti seasoning. I know we're not doing a spaghetti right now, but this has got just about everything in it you need, from the onions to the salt to everything. So for flavor, this is the bomb. From there, you've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a tablespoon of dried onions, a tablespoon of pepper, garlic, and 1/2 tablespoon of salt. We're gonna mix all that up into the bag and let it soak. Now, for the pasta, I found these. They're called radiators. They're actually supposed to be, it came off the old Bugattis of the day. The way the radiator looked is how this looks. It's also an excellent cheese grabbing vessel because it's so contoured. I'll show you when I take it out of the bag, but it's so contoured, it holds all that cheese and just, you can't miss none of it. So for that, you're gonna need 1 pound of pasta. Again, whatever pasta you wanna use. I like the radiators, you'll see why. 1 pound of white cheddar, 1 pound of Colby, 1/2 cup of butter, 1/3 cup of flour, 3 cups of milk, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, pepper, and paprika, and 1 cup of heavy cream. Now, once we mix all that together, it'll make, well, we'll get to that. We'll show you. So let's get started with this. Now we'll start the mixing using ye old Ziploc bag. We start out with our Worcestershire into the bag. Next, the olive oil, the onions, the magic flavor sauce, well, not sauce, but the magic flavor gathering of spices, pepper, garlic, salt, our guesstimation of mustard. There we go. And a splash of water. Whee! We'll take and close the baggie up and shake it all about. Now that we've got that, let's grab the steaks and get them hacked. Bam! And just like that, the steaks are cut. Now you notice they're smaller size. This is so they marinate faster. We're gonna drop all of these guys. I don't know if this is the pool kids, because, well, it might be one of the little playground ones. But we'll put these in here and let them rest and soak up some flavor and enjoy the day for about at least an hour. I mean, if you can afford 4 hours, 5 hours, heck, the night before, do it to it. And now, everybody's home, saturated, marinating. Time to put it in the fridge, let it relax and flavor up. Now it's been an hour and our ribeyes are just filled with the flavor of all that stuff we put in there. So now let's go ahead and prep this, get this ready for the sauce, all right? Step 1, the cheese needs to be a little more cheesy. Bam, that's what I'm talking about, magic cheese. All right, now, just as a little side note, the reason why you shred it instead of just buying it pre-shredded When you buy it commercially and it's already shredded, they actually have like I think it's a potato starch, could be wrong, but there's a coating on the cheese that helps keep it from sticking together in the bag. Otherwise, it would go right back to being solid. When you do it at home, you don't have that extra add, and sometimes that can affect a recipe. So just out of your curiosity, that's why I always shred my own cheese. Now, time to go to the hot box. Now that we've got our pan nice and warmed up, let's apply a little lubrication to the thing. After all, we'll wait. After all, don't want to get burned. And all of that right on in here. Sizzle. We'll do a little stir, that way everybody gets under the water and starts hotting up and getting tasting delish. Now you notice a lot of these are smaller bites. That way as you eat them and cook them, and everything just works faster. So let's let this think about life for a minute. Now that that's got a good stir going on, we got our water boiling for the pasta. Now, I want to talk about this here little pasta, the radiator pasta. Literally the only thing I could find on it on the interwebs was the fact that it is shaped like an old school radiator, like from the 30s or 40s. Coolant went through the middle and the heat went off on the edges. That's how they work. Why somebody wanted to make a pasta that reminded them of a car part, I don't know. But the cool thing is all this space in here sucks up that sauce. That way you can't miss it. So for mac and cheese, this is the ultimate in sauce carrying vehicles. We want to cook this just a little bit below medium, maybe medium rare. Reason being is we've also got to bake it in the pasta, and it's going to sit here with the cast iron and settle in a little bit. So I think we're looking good there. We're going to set it on the back burner, get the sauce going, and we've got our water ready for salt. All right, move on out the way. Things are getting hot over here. Now, we'll take this. Water's not quite boiling, but it's near a boil. And we're gonna get our huge pinch of salt. Because as they say, water is supposed to be as salty as the sea. I'm not sure what actual salt level that is, but that's what we're going for. Now, let's go ahead and get our butter melting and get our roux ready. We'll set our butter in, wait on that guy to melt. Butter is almost disappearing. What do you think? 3 seconds, 2 seconds? I'm off a little bit, but that's okay. All right, butter is melted. Now it's time for the flour to make that roux. And mix, 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 mix. Now that we have our roux made, it's time to make our bechamel. What's a bechamel, you ask? Well, I'm glad you asked. Basically, once you add milk to the roux, it becomes one of the mother sauces. What we have when this gets in and mixed and incorporated is basically the same sauce you use to make a pot pie with. There are apparently 5 mother sauces. This is one of them. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Nice, mixed, and unlike your mama, well, I shouldn't say your mama's gravy, that would be mean. But unlike some gravies, no lumps. Now, let's ease in some of this cheese. Add a little, mix a little. You don't want to bring the temperature down too quick. Oh man, that thickened up fast. Time for another handful. Whee! Another giant handful. And the rest. Goodbye. Come on, join the party. It's fun. Now that that's melted, let's add some color to it. Oh yes, bright orange. Funny how cheese is bright orange. I've never seen an orange cow. How do you get orange cheese? Another honkin' bloop. And now the rest of it. Get on in there. We do not leave any cheese behind. It's just too valuable. And we mix. And while the melting is happening, in with the salt. In with the pepper. And in with the paprika. Because I mean, a little smoky flavor is not gonna hurt a thing. Now that everybody's melted and mixed, we slowly pour in the cream and stir. And stir and stir. The biggest thing is not to stop stirring anytime during this process, because we just don't want the bottom of the pan to burn now, do we? That would change the whole flavor. Look at that. Cheese sauce is looking good. It is time to add the pasta to our nice hot tub. As soon as you add these guys in, dump and do a quick stir, because nobody likes stuck pasta. Now that nobody's stuck to the bottom, let's put the lid back on it. Keep the hot tub hot. And back to the cheese sauce. Again, no burns, none. Must be careful. Very careful. Extremely careful. This is cheese. This is valuable stuff. Pasta's looking good. Sauce is looking good. Meat is smelling good. It's time to drain these guys and put them for a real swim in the real sauce. Our radiators are drained and into the pool, kids. Look at that. Come on now, settle in. The whole purpose of this is to get the cheese mixed with the pasta. Once we get these guys good and mixed, in comes the meat. And now we scoop up our steak and apply with a smile, knowing that this is gonna be delicious. And there we go. All the carnivores smiled with gratitude. We're gonna mix this in, and then we'll slide this guy easily into a casserole dish. And now, our favorite dish, the one that says, we're gonna set these guys in here. Look at there, look at there, look at there. Good enough to eat now. But oh no, you gotta bake them. You gotta add that little extra to it. And now for a little topping. We're gonna go ahead and take some breadcrumbs, some panko, whatever you wanna call it. Add a little bit to the top. What this will do, at the end of it, we're gonna broil it, and this will give it a little crispy, crunchy brown topping. Nothing wrong with that, is there? Yep. Oven's hot. 375. Set that thing nicely in there. 35 minutes, and remember, if you got it, convection keeps the temperatures even. I'll be back shortly. Oh man, that took longer than anticipated. Cool. I guess the house fairy made sure stuff didn't burn. All right. I don't ask questions. I just enjoy the food. So, how do you like that? Nice crispy crust, cheesy all the way around, cooked through and through. This is gonna be good stuff. Let's go for a bite. Prepare the toolage. Oh yeah. A little bit of a crunch from that panko on the top. I see my first piece of meat coming out. Look at there. Cheese through and through. Oh my, my, my. Tell me that's not gonna be bomb freaking tastic. Although it is gonna be hot. But as a true man of men, we're gonna start with the steak. Because, oh yeah. Getting it medium rare and then throwing it in the oven to finish Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then you remember on the radiators I was showing you? Look at there, filled with cheese. Tell you what, you can't go wrong with this. Yep. This is definitely a do again. But at the end of the day, the biggest thing to remember is Bigfoot is real. How in the heck did this get here?